Hi YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about sound on a brass instrument. I've got a very interesting addition to my sound today. I'm going to talk about this. This is a silent brass mute, and I actually have it hooked up to a guitar amp. Not a big distortion pedal or anything, but you can see it sounds pretty much like my trumpet would. Let me see, I can add. Let's do this. Maybe turn it down a little bit. So now it's pretty awkwardly distorted. And what I'm going to use this for is this is actually very sensitive. You can actually hear the boom. Let me see if I can hum. Ooh. No, it doesn't do anything. But there's a microphone on the inside here. You can hear me fiddling with it. There's a microphone inside there, and all the air coming out of my bell is just going into there. And so this is going to make very obvious that what's coming out of the guitar amp is pretty much equalized. The volume's pretty much the same than I normally play. The volume is changing a lot. So with this is going to really reveal if my notes are like a box or not. And what I'm going for is I'm going for a good sound. It is distorted, but right? You can really hear the amp is kind of echoing. There's no echo effect on, but I can hear, as opposed to, there's a lot of depth to the sound. What I'm going for is there's a lower, through the amp, there's a big array of notes that are coming out here. There's a higher frequency and a lower frequency. And what a bad sound will sound like is just the higher. That's a C, but it is really just a really whiny C. Now I'm going for is you can really hear there's kind of a boom in the sound. And that's the same thing we want from our live sound. We want to have a lot of depth, or people say, depth, warmth, resonance. And I'm getting that by just having, like I talked about in my last video, buccinators, these muscles vertical here, come out into the mouthpiece a little. Some weird distorted stuff as I'm going higher and lower. The amp's kind of freaked out, but that's the basic effect this is going to help us with. Kind of reveal, and I'm going to play an excerpt. So this is number 5, Variations on a Song, The Beautiful Snow from Arwen. I'm going to play it poorly, and for my reed students, this same concept of, now here my lips are vibrating, and that's basically my reed, the source of my sound. So when we're restricting the reed, either by squeezing or it's dry and the reed's cracking, we get those squeaks. This is the same idea. It's not letting any muscular tension restrict the vibrator, which is my lips in this case, or the reed. this is the end of the song. I'm going to play it with trying to sound shallow. Okay, that was hard for me. I was missing some of the notes as I was trying to get my lips to be overly tight. And it doesn't sound super terrible, but I'll show you the difference. Just the first couple bars. This is good. Now, I'm going to do it with a shallow sound. So the first thing you notice is it's quieter, but I've actually got the same amount of air pressure behind the sound. Just with the second one, it's unable to resonate, basically. The air pressure is not being allowed through my lips. There's no vibration happening. And avoiding, at all costs, avoid constricting what's resonating. On strings, it's the same thing. If you just lightly touch the string, it goes, it's just dead right away. And that's really what we want to avoid, that same concept with this. I'm going to play variation 1, parts of it. Okay, so I did miss a couple notes. I am almost set reading this. So, and you can really hear the depth of these lower notes. And we want the same depth, in theory, should show up live. And that's really why I use this mute. As I go between registers, I want to hear where exactly am I losing that depth. And I can actually, I'm in a concrete floor right now, and because of the bass, I could feel the floor vibrating a little, because this lower fundamental I'm not getting this really weak shallow tone. I'm getting a nice full with lots of low frequency note, and that's really what we're going for practicing with the amplifier on the silent brass mute. And that's what I use it for, to see between my registers where does the depth go away. And I think the depth went away around D, high D, or high E. So around there, I'm really losing a lot of depth, and that's about the top of my range, which, that makes sense. And we just want to make sure everything we're doing, we're getting this really dark tone without trying too hard. I mean, I can play at the top of my range. I'm just sitting here. I'm not really trying very hard, and it's not quiet. It just lacks depth. And you can really hear that live. You can hear it a little bit with the mute, but you can really hear the volume cut out live. So that's why I recommend getting a silent brass mute and getting used to playing with that resistance. That really high resistance is actually very good for feeling that air pressure And you should feel it right here against those intercostal muscles. You should not feel anything in the throat. All the air in the throat, you should just feel like it's staying the same. Alright, and that's my spiel on sound.